6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother. What we do here is go back.
That song's so dope. Welcome everybody to another live chat. Jesse, are you?
Oh shit! Sorry.
Oh, there you go. You're good. I thought you were muted for a second. What's up, everyone? Steven Jensen. Just realized I forgot to tie my hair again. Jesse Davin. We are going to talk about WWE Great American Bash. We're going to talk about AEW Fyter Fest Night 2. Both of those shows coming up tomorrow night. Always remember, super chats get your priority in the chat. We're going to make sure to talk about anything you want us to talk about. We'll dive deep on questions, comments, statements, and the super chats. And there's also a donation link that Jesse has just tweeted out that includes Easter egg donations. So certain dollar amounts create different images and GIFs/GIFs up on the screen. So if you think of a clever number that might result in something cool, you can donate through there. But it works the same as a super chat. You do that, you can obviously have your voice heard on our show. Before we get started and everything, Jesse, how you doing?
I'm doing good. My daughter is demanding cookies from me, so while you're saying how you're doing, I'm gonna go get those for her. Doing good. Just chilling. Excited for tomorrow night. Night 1 did not disappoint at all. It was fantastic. Fyter Fest was amazing. NXT was pretty good. So I'm excited. Should be good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Me and Jesse always catch up a little bit before we go live, so she knows kind of what's going on, and I know kind of what's going on with her as well. So it's one of these things where we both have like potentially some pretty big news and stuff coming up soon. So fingers crossed for both of us with some big changes happening. But one thing that we're going to try to make sure to do is keep doing the show consistently. So there should be nothing that happens with this. We appreciate everybody who supports and everybody who comes in these live chats and hangs out, and it's just fun to have a good place to chat about wrestling, and it's kind of I'm not very SJW, you know what I mean? But this feels like kind of almost like a safe space for wrestling fans. Like we try to make sure that the chat stays positive. Like anybody who does any kind of bullying or anything, they get warned and then they get straight up banned. So like we try.
Yeah, I don't mess around. I don't have any time for that.
Yeah. Gal said, "Wait, there's cookies." Yeah. So basically, like for instance, I'll just do like one of the most obvious ones possible, right?
Oh, my daughter's cookies, but yeah, talk about the Easter eggs.
Oh, sorry. I thought
No, talk about the Easter eggs. Tell me about the Easter eggs on
I
screen.
literally thought that's what he was talking about. I didn't even.
You're good. No, talk about them.
But yeah, I think I explained it pretty well already. But like, there's basically I set it up with like a whole bunch of different amounts. So like, and they're low amounts too, most of them. So like, $4.20, $4.20. Like, there might be something that possibly
like $42 one too. Doesn't it work? Just you can just.
What's that?
Doesn't like $42 work too, and like.
Well, they all have different. I put different
Oh.
images and stuff for each one of those. So like, there's a So like, most of the smaller amounts, if you can think of them as larger amounts as well, they also will trigger something. So like, for an example, $4.20, $42.00, but just 42 will work, and $420 if someone is insane enough to ever donate $420. There are.
Dude.
What?
That'd be amazing. That'd be like a super bonk party.
Oh yeah. If anybody ever donates 420, I think I have one that's like. Oh yeah, I definitely have one for like 1,000.
We'll put your name on the screen at the bottom.
Oh yeah. If anybody, I'll make that a thing. I can literally like anybody who donates. Let's say if anyone donates $100 or more, which once again is completely insane if you do that. But if you do, I will starting next week. Like if it starts this week, like if somebody gives a donation that high, I'll make sure so you guys all see it starting next week. But yeah, I'll literally put your name
or your business or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to.
Be a sponsor, heck.
Yeah, straight up. Like if your name is we'll just use Corey Hummel as an example because he's our biggest fans.
Oh man, he's great.
If Corey donated 100, well, Corey, I'm not asking you to do this. This is just for.
No, please God, don't do it.
If Corey donated $100 up on the screen, I would leave it, and I'd leave it for like a whole month or something. Corey Hummel, top donator, and if you have like a charity or like a business or something that you want up on the screen next to your name, I'll put that up there for promotion for you as well, 100%.
Yeah, anyone who donates over $100, let's just put it there.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah. And once again, we're not expecting that.
No, obviously not. We're brainstorming.
Because we have had people cumulatively who have given more than that, and it's one of those things.
Yeah.
We're incredibly appreciative and never expected that. So it's like any incentive we can, or any extra kind of prize we can.
Thank you.
For that. Any kind of thank you, yes, that we can give. Like we're trying to think of more things where we can thank y'all for helping with the support because we very much appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about with like?
Oh man, can we talk about this dick belt?
Oh, dude, I just saw that on your Twitter a minute ago.
Dude.
Like,
okay. Hold on. Let me lean back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's all reversed for me.
No, we can see it. Yeah, it looks. That's a good shot.
I'm trying to cup the ball.
Yeah, you got the. Well, it looks like the left. It's to our left. You got the.
Yeah, look.
That very much. That looks very phallic.
And like.
Very right.
You go up, and there's like the tip.
Yeah.
This is the shaft.
Is it supposed to be an owl? What's this supposed to be?
No, there's an eagle at the bottom. Look at the bottom. There's eagle wings.
Yeah, I see the wings.
I think that's just like the space behind. It's the background of the eagle because he's going like this. So that's just this empty space right here.
Yeah, and there's no nameplate either, is there?
There's some on the side.
No, I mean like the nameplate, like for the winner, like the guy who holds the title. It's on the side.
No, I mean there's side plates, but I don't think there is.
Because all the other belts have nameplates on the middle, but have their names, like whoever the current is.
So here's my thing. Okay, this picture, this lighting is like the worst lighting they could have ever gotten. This is like 2003, 2004 MySpace. Up the contrast and brightness so you can't see all your acne lighting. Like the promotional pictures, not the one on TV, they actually look pretty dope. It reminds me of like one of those limited edition coins that you see on TV. Like if you're watching like The Price is Right, because their demographic is like 55 plus, just like WWE. It's like
Ooh,
What?
got him.
Got him. So it's just like that. You know, those coins where they're like, this special limited edition gold-plated coin is limited to 1,000 mints or whatever. It's limited
Right.
to 1,000 coins only. Get yours now and get a special certificate, and we'll add this gold-plated quarter. Like,
Right. You're buying a 25-cent quarter for like $100
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So that's what it reminds me of. It looks very U.S. Mint, very U.S. Mint and Treasury Department. So if I look at it as a form of currency, which I guess in WWE you would have to, I would guess it's pretty cool. The dick in the balls make it really funny. So I kind of hate it, but I kind of love it. And here's the thing. Someone said, and this really bothered me. They said, well, if it was AEW, you would love it. I was like, I don't like the TNT Championship. I don't like it. I don't like the TNT logo. It looks so blah. Like, I thought it was going to be like the old TNT logo. I don't like it. I think it sucks. So, whatever.
True. Yeah, and it's funny with the AEW, the TNT logo, or the TNT title, like, part of me believes the company when they say that, like, that wasn't the full belt and, like, the pandemic, like, caused them to put that out first and they're really waiting on the real belt. But part of me is also like, was that the real belt? And you saw the backlash online and you were like, we need to change this immediately. You know what I mean? Like, was that a cover up or like,
yeah,
really unfinished? What's more important about that is the actual, what the actual belt represents, which I do like about what AEW is doing.
Yeah.
I feel like their world title, their women's title, their tag titles, and the TNT title all have value. Where it's like, I don't really care what the belt looks like as long as Cody's out there defending it and having good matches and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then the AEW World Title, I think, is probably the best championship belt in like all of wrestling right now.
Yeah, it's really tight. It reminds me of the IWGP.
Yeah, that's definitely way up there as well. That belt's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the new U.S. title, I don't hate it. I just think it's like, I can't unsee the dick and balls in the middle of it at this point, though. So, I mean, it's similar to Brock Lesnar. Every time I see Brock Lesnar, it looks like a giant dick up his chest going into his neck. Like,
I see a sword.
see, I see a very phallic image. Well, I mean, and
He's so alpha, he doesn't care.
Oh yeah, and who's gonna ever like say that?
Who's gonna tell him?
Yeah.
Who's gonna tell him?
Yeah.
It'll be a dead man. Is what it'll be.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I thing was strange was because I watched part of Raw last night. I watched more than I have in like the past few weeks. To make a long story short, I could not find anything better. I watched the Ken Griffey Jr. documentary finally that was on MLB Network, and when it ended, I was like, I'll watch whatever's going on Raw since I already have my TV on, and literally like it doesn't make any sense to me unless I missed something. Did Bobby Lashley he gave this belt to MVP, who is not the United States champion? Apollo is. So this is the real belt that Apollo needs to win now from MVP? Like, I don't understand. Like, how is this the new belt? Like, how does Bobby Lashley have the authority to, like, he's the one who reveals the new belt and gives it to MVP, who isn't the champion? And now the champion has to wrestle so now it's going to be MVP versus Apollo for this new belt? Is that someone in the chat let me know, or Jesse, like, what the fuck? What's going on?
I don't know. I just watched Kevin Owens.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Let me know in the chat, am I right about this? Like, am I missing something?
I don't know.
I don't mind a new belt.
I keep sliding to this side, and it's so annoying. I don't know what's happening. I keep, like, my camera is, like, against me.
That's all right. You're still in the shot.
Okay. Oh my God, there it goes again. What the?
Darbot says Apollo's still the champ. MVP basically commissioned it, but how does MVP have the authority to commission?
Yeah. Who said that?
And granted, this is WWE television. Like, there is no reason. I mean, I shouldn't say no reason, but at this point, I don't expect logical answer or any answer at all. And I mean, we still don't know why Roman Reigns wasn't around as far as on the television. We still don't know why Roman Reigns wasn't in the world title match at WrestleMania. We don't know why Braun Strowman got that match. Like, we still don't. There's a lot of things. The hacker, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The hacker. What happened to him?
you can even go back in the day, like GTV and all that stuff. Just never. Vance Hansen or whatever was this one dude who was gonna feud with Undertaker and just had like a promo and disappeared and like. So I don't really expect the WWE to actually explain anything to me, but how storyline wise, is there any explanation at all as to why why Bobby Lashley in MVP got to commission a new United States title? I just don't understand. And Jesse, if you want to go off the super chats, thank you very much, Gil. I just saw those. Thank you so much.
Yes, we have F, Mary, and K. Off. I guess kill. I can say kill, I guess. So, yours, Steven. Okay, I guess I'll do mine first. Pre-COVID, oh my god. So, my Mary F kill is Brock, Otis, and Kevin Owens. Okay, I've got it. I would, excuse me. I would marry Otis because he's an all-around, but no, I don't know. No, I'd marry Kevin Owens because when you marry someone, you're effing them anyway, right? And Kevin Owens is a really good dad. He's a really good husband to his wife and kids already. And he is just really nice and just a generally good human being. I mean, so is Otis. But he would be fun to caterpillar on just like once. He seems like he would be a lot. Like he's very high maintenance. He needs a lot of attention. And sometimes I'm busy and I would not be able to provide that for him and I would feel so bad. And then I would kill Brock Lesnar because that would be the ultimate bragging rights. I feel like if I could off Brock Lesnar and like kill him, that would be such a cool, like I get like a trophy. Like I would be known as the ultimate. I'd like take his championships and everything. I would take his UFC wins. I would take his WWE championships because I have assumed the status of Brock Lesnar. So that's my F, Mary, Gal. Thank you, Gal.
Good reasonings. Yeah, I've got Renee Young pre-COVID. Make sure to. Okay. Alexa Bliss and Stacey Keibler. Now, what I like about what you've been doing, Gal, is you clearly remember what you've asked in the past because I think each one of these I have chose Renee to marry every time. And I've chose Alexa Bliss to F, I think, most of the times. You have never put Stacey Keibler on the list, though. And little known fact, Stacey Keibler was probably my favorite back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So, I still marry Renee, because she
could cook.
And she's just, I don't want to make this sound wrong, but like she's like super intelligent too. Like I like the way she does herself. I like the way that she does commentary and analyzes things, and she just seems like she'd be a good wife. Like Dean Ambrose is probably the exact fucking opposite of Renee Young in real life, and that's probably why they're so perfect together. Like Dean Ambrose seems like a complete slob, like dude who just doesn't really care about much, just kind of does his own thing. And Renee is like the proper, like educated, like, you know, and probably keeps him all of his ducks in a row as far as when they're at home and stuff like that. Is the way that I imagine it. So I could use that in my life. I think that I'm probably like
it's fair.
Probably a lot like Dean Ambrose in a lot of ways. So
yeah. You know, you guys have the same vibe.
Yeah, we're kind of
in the nicest way. In the nicest way, like just kind of like chill. I mean, like chill and like a badass chill.
Yeah, we both like to drink alcohol. You know, it's cool. So,
yeah.
So yeah, I still marry Renee. I F Stacey Keibler as often as humanly possible. And sorry, Alexa. Like nothing against Alexa Bliss, but I mean we're talking we're talking like my childhood dream, Stacey Keebler right here. So I mean, it's gonna be. I don't think there's any other woman in the wrestling business who could probably top her, like in this scenario. So, yeah, I'm probably thinking about this way more than I. Well, the one. I feel like you would already know this, Gal, because you were in like all of our chats. The one who trumps all of them is Brooke Adams, by the way. Like Brooke Tessma, or Brooke Adams, whatever you want to call her. She's my number one top all-time everything. Like, if I ever got to meet Brooke Adams, it would make my... I shouldn't say it would make my life, because I'd probably just be, like, incredibly awkward around her. That's my number one ever, is Brooke Adams. Dylan's wrestling stuff. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you, Dylan.
It says, hey guys, how was your holiday weekend? Mine was good. Mine was chill. Jessie, if you want to talk about yours first, I'll talk about mine after.
Sure, my weekend was really good. It was fun. We did like a couple beach days. We went to the beach Friday, and then I stayed over at my parents' condo with Scarlett because my husband had to work all weekend, so that kind of sucked. Oh yeah, Brooke Adams is really pretty. Anyways.
Oh, dude. Well, it is her, dude.
She some pictures of her.
Her ass is. I mean, I've just got to say it. There's no other way of putting it.
Hey, that's okay.
It's just complete.
Yeah, she's really pretty.
She's so hot. She's so hot.
She's really pretty.
And Gal says, there's someone from a previous list you can't mention. Yes, thank you for not including anybody else along those lines, which, I know exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah, I think I do too.
I appreciate it.
Oh, anyways, my weekend. It was good. Then Saturday was 4th of July. So Scarlett stayed up to watch fireworks. We had some people light some off. There was a big neighborhood party, but I was like kind of spying on it, and I looked at the pictures, and not one person was wearing a mask, and there were like 100 people. So I was like, because I cannot get sick right now. I just can't. So we stayed at our house, and I gave the fireworks that my dad got us to our neighbor, and I was like, you can light these off. I don't trust my husband to light them off. So they did, and so we watched the fireworks, and we had fun, and she went over to our neighbor's house and painted teapots. It was really nice. And that was it. And then Sunday, I don't know what I did Sunday. Yeah, it was good. It was a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend too, Dylan. I hope everybody did. Oh gosh, I hope everybody had a great weekend.
Yeah. I hope everyone had a great weekend as well. My 4th of July, so I was invited to do a couple things, which I wound up not doing, mainly because I like people going out and doing stuff, and if you went out and you did stuff, like that's fine. I'm not judging anybody, and I hope everyone wore a mask or at least stayed away from people and stuff like that. I've mentioned it before on the show, like I'm around my parents way too often who, my dad's like in his early 60s, my stepmom is in like her late 50s. So it's like, I'm around them, and I would never want something to happen to them because I gave them something without knowing it.
Yeah.
On top of that, my brother is around Parkinson's patients constantly, and they're mainly of the older generations, Excuse me. So, just one of those things where, like, I'm just trying to be incredibly careful, and I'm really not going hardly anywhere. So I stayed home, and my brother came over, and on the 4th of July, I started my day by,
Wake and bake?
No, the first thing that I did of note was I'll just put it this way, I pre-gamed the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Oh, nice.
So I turned that on and watched Joey Chestnut break his all-time record, knock down 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
I can't watch that right now.
Just a true American sports hero.
Yes.
Who people might turn to like Michael Jordan or LeBron James in like the basketball world, or maybe someone like Ken Griffey Jr. In the baseball world, and Billy Mitchell in the video game world. You have these athletes. These high level athletes, and I think Joey Chestnut might be the top American athlete of all time at this point. That man, I think he's won it 13 times now, and his only loss in the last in that whole time frame, he lost to Matt Stoney in 2015. one time. And Matt Stoney's my favorite competitive eater in the world. Fucking love that guy. You check out his YouTube channel, by the way. Matt's the man. So I watched that. It was a true one of the most athletic performances I've ever seen in sports history. This guy, he literally, there's no one there. Hardly anybody. They're in this room because of the pandemic. So they're in this room.
Oh God, they were in a room.
Yeah, and they had the hockey, like how WWE's doing it with like the
Ew, splash guard.
yeah, like in between each person to separate them, and literally like the only person in there really making any noise. There's this guy who runs the whole thing. I can't think of his name, but he always wears like the straw hat and like he runs the whole eating scene, and he's behind Joey Chestnut, just this is the greatest performance I've ever seen, and he's stomping his feet and like he's the crowd, like he's.
He had the energy of 10,000.
The energy of 10,000. Oh, he's talking about this man, is a staple in American history. This man stands alone.
Guy. He needs to cut promos for wrestling.
He's Paul Heyman and Bruce Buffer from the UFC. Like, this guy is the best. And he's just hyping up Joey Chestnut. Because here's the other thing. There's only 5 people up there on the stage. And Joey Chestnut, I think he won by about double what second place put down. Like, second place put down like 30-something.
Jesus.
75. So he could have stopped like 3 minutes before this contest was over and still won by a lot probably. But he's doing this for America. He knows.
Yes.
He knows that this is what the people need right now. We need something to cheer for. All the sports aside from professional wrestling and mixed martial arts.
What a hero.
This guy.
What a selfless hero.
We needed something. We needed something to bring back the spirit of the United States of America and
bring us
ourselves
together
as the greatest country in the world. And
everybody loves hot dogs. Except for
this guy.
Oh no, he like hot dogs.
And this guy had the wherewithal, the athleticism to. So normally what he does is he takes 2 hot dogs at a time and he just shoves them into his mouth at the same time, eats them as fast as he can, takes 2 buns, dips them in water, and just shoves them in his mouth. And that counts as 2 hot dogs and 2 buns. So that's a complete HDB is what they call them, hot dog and bun. So this guy he does it, and he's at 74. He's reached his world record. He's tied his world record. He is sweating more than any professional athlete I've ever seen in any sport ever. This guy is just sweating and chewing and sweating and chewing and just shoving his face constantly. And there's 3 seconds left, and the hype man behind him is just, can he do it? Can he do it? Joey Chestnut. And this guy takes the hot dog and puts it in the bun because he knows he doesn't need to do the 2. He's 3, 2. Just on 1, just the last shove, closes his mouth.
Deep throat champion.
He fucking did it for America. 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Joey Chestnut, one of the greatest things I've seen in my life. And then I was so hyped up, I went out to the store. I bought Nathan's hot dogs. I ate myself. I ate 4. I ate 4 hot dogs. Fuck. I'm no Joey Chestnut. But I ate 4 hot dogs myself. Hot dogs and buns. With ketchup, which they're not even using condiments, right? So,
isn't ketchup, like, you're not supposed to use ketchup on a hot dog?
Yeah, I do, though, but I know it's boo. You're supposed to do mustard at, like, the most. But so I did that, knocked out 4 hot dogs. I rented the old school Bad News Bears movie from back in the day, like the one from, like, the 70s, where the kids are... You couldn't even make that movie now, because it's just full of racism and homophobia, and... It's one of the worst movies ever if you were to watch it in 2020. But I enjoyed it. Great acting. Classic movie, but doesn't... Here's the thing. The actual story holds up great. There's a lot of things in it that you just would not be able to do now. And it's still rated like PG, which is pretty hilarious, really. So I watched that movie. And then I watched... what else? The 4th of July was... I'm wearing the shirt. Coincidence. ICW, No Holds Barred. I watched my boy Brett Eisen, Street Justice, established 1988. Brett Eisen took on Eddie Kingston, and I loved it. I watched the show, watched some deathmatch wrestling, even though I'm not really into deathmatch wrestling. And that was my 4th of July. Hot dog.
Epic.
Bears,
American.
Deathmatch wrestling. USA, baby. Let's see what people were saying about what I was just talking about. Let's see if we got any people in the chat that agree with me. Arlo McClure says Steven Jensen is a baller. I couldn't agree more. Dylan's Wrestling Stuff says the new U.S. Championship is beautiful. Yes. Maybe. Depends on who you ask. I like it, though. I can't...
It's a hot dog and fun. I'm
the
trying to
nutsack and
censor
shafter.
my cat is just showing off booty hole, and I'm like, no, please. There we go.
Rick Neal says, oh, you guys are talking about hot dog eating competition.
No, he was talking about a Saturday night for me.
What's that?
You were just talking about a Saturday night for me.
Yeah, that wasn't even... Yeah, that's just what I do sometimes. I just eat... I watch people eat.
2 at a time. Double team.
There you go. Want to know how to get free weed from your dealer?
Oh my god.
Learn how to compete at the hot dog eating contest. So it looks like everybody else who watched this agreed with me. Yeah, Joey Chestnut. I mean, American. Joey Chestnut, Billy Mitchell, Michael Jordan. That's probably the top 3 ever. So yeah, that was my weekend. Thank you for asking, Dylan, and thank you for the super chat.
Amazing.
Amazing.
For America.
This guy.
Oh.
Joey Jaws Chestnut.
His name's Jaws? Or is that
His
his nickname because he goes...
Because he's got the jaw. He
Dude.
detaches jaw and just shove hot dogs in there. But he doesn't just eat hot dogs, by the way. Like he's like...
Oh yeah, he does like sushi and stuff too. Oh
Yeah, a whole bunch of the...
We can't talk about this right now.
The only disappointment was Matt Stoney, who is my favorite competitive eater. He lives in California, and he was supposed to be at the hot dog eating contest, but because of the pandemic, he can't fly in from California to New York, so he couldn't compete. So that was really the only downer of the day.
How can he compete remotely?
They all had to be there in New York in this room for it to be like official. But I agree though. There should have been a way to Zoom. And I wouldn't be surprised. He has a YouTube channel. I wouldn't be surprised if he just like does his own thing, like a 10-minute hot dog challenge in his kitchen or something. Darbot says they seriously call him Jaws. That's even better. Yeah, they do. And it is great. It's the best. The guy's amazing. I want to be like Joey Chestnut when I grow up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Be able to have a stomach like that. Ugh. Can't.
Imagine how much ass I would get if I was a hot dog eating champion.
How much ass?
Yeah, like just girls, I'm sure, just throw themselves at Joey Chestnut.
I'm sure a lot of guys do too.
I mean, if you're into that's probably. I mean, especially if you see the way he eats hot dogs. So.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
if he consents.
Oh, 100. That's all.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So, do you think there will be a hot dog eating contest at Great American Bash?
No, but there's going to be a puppy bowl on AEW.
Dude, okay, guys. I forgot about it. I'm going to cry. I could not. When I saw the puppy battle royal, I went through like stages of shock in like the best way. So I was like, no way. They're just messing with me. I was like, hold on. Is it February? Is it the Super Bowl? What is going on? I was like, am I watching like Hallmark Channel? Like, what is happening? Like, oh my God. Like, guys, this, oh my God, it's so cute. Like, I cannot wait for this. And I really hope that they use this to like incorporate the toys. The new toys. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I have them pre-ordered. Can't wait.
Yeah, I really feel like they're going to put like Kenny Omega's action figure in there, Cody Rhodes' action figure in there. I am so this is so revolutionary. Like, they're going to win every demographic except for 55 plus. I'm calling it now, just because people are going to be hype for the Puppy Bowl. And because NXT, and guys, we do know that NXT did accidentally spoil the ending for.
Don't put it in this chat. Do not put it. I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to avoid it.
Don't ruin it for anybody. I don't care which one you like better. I don't care if you like AEW better or NXT better. Let's all be better people and not ruin it for people, because that is not what we are about. And you spoiling it for someone is not going to make them want to watch AEW. It's just going to make them hate AEW even more. So don't. Let's not.
They're going to hate you for spoiling it, so don't do that.
They're going to hate you for spoiling it. We're going to ban you immediately. It's not cool. So just right off the bat, no ma'am. No ma'am.
Yeah.
So, like, they might change the ending now. Can they? Son of a bitch.
I mean, they could. They could edit it if they wanted to, but
okay. So I'm not gonna discuss it because I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, either do I. I don't want what happened. So.
So for that match, because I saw the spoiler, I'm not going to give a prediction.
That's awesome. Good.
Because I don't want to have anybody interpret what I say, and I don't want it to slip.
Okay.
I don't want it to slip. Even if it's fake, I'm just going to be cautious because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I don't. So, yeah.
Oh, they taped 2 different endings, people are saying, for
okay, here's the thing.
matches too.
They did that because that was in front of a live crowd, and they didn't want the live crowd to go out and report it. So, I don't know if they recorded 2. They may have. I don't want to say anything else, but I mean, I would hope like that. And here's the thing, guys. Do I love AEW more than I do WWE? Absolutely. Like, yes. Call me biased, whatever. I don't want this to potentially make NXT lose their 2-week win streak that they're on. I don't want that. I think a little bit of competition, or a lot of competition if you're on the internet wrestling community on Twitter, is good because it makes both companies work a little harder. It makes them both kind of see what they're doing and what's working. And I feel like it engages the audience, the Soul fan base, a little bit better. But I don't want this to, if this wouldn't have happened, make AEW win. I don't. I want AEW to win because it's a good show and people are tuning in. I don't want it to be because of some NXT person blabbing it out.
I'm gonna take.
I think AEW was better.
I'm gonna take Pharaoh to win the puppy thing. By the way, I don't even know who's in it, but I'm gonna take Pharaoh.
Oh my God, Pharaoh's gonna smush him.
Yeah.
Pharaoh's big.
Yeah. Well, I think Cody has other dogs too. I'm just gonna call it nepotism on the Puppy Bowl. I'm just gonna call it nepotism on the Puppy Bowl. I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll be good. I know you're excited for it. Because I'll admit, like, when I was younger, and once a year, a young Steven Jensen would. I'm on this whole kick now after the Joey Chestnut thing. A young Steven Jensen would sit alone in his basement. He would sit there, and all he cared about all week was tuning into wrestling on Monday night. The rest of the week sucked, dealing with personal problems.
Yeah.
You tune into Raw. You just want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin. You want to see The Rock. You want to see Shawn Michaels if it was during the range when he wasn't retired. You want to see your favorites, and you want to forget about the world. And then you tune into the USA Network once a year, and Westminster Dog Show is on. And you lose all hope. Because now you have to wait a whole nother week for happiness. And that Westminster Dog Show has made me absolutely hate anything that has to do with dogs in professional wrestling.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, so the Puppy Bowl just reminds me of the Westminster Dog Show. And For those of you who lived through those times and know what I'm talking about, you might feel the same. And if you do, throw a Y in the chat. Just a Y. Just Y for yes. Y for yes. If you understand what I'm saying and you felt my pain, throw it in there, because that dog show ruined my life once a year for a lot of years.
Aww.
If you have anything you want to talk about real quick, I'm gonna go grab a drink. It'll take me about a minute to grab it and come back.
Okay.
Just talk to the chat for a minute.
Okay.
Give Jessie questions. Like I said, I'll be on for about a minute or so. Darbot with the Y. See, he gets it. He gets it.
Yeah. So I get that. I totally get what he's saying, but I love puppies and puppy bowls, and I think that it's great. I cannot wait for this. I think it's gonna be so clever. I don't think it'll make AEW win if they're gonna lose. However, I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see the bump afterwards. It'll be interesting to see how the Puppy Battle Royal does. There's got to be something going on with this. I think there's some, like, kind of thing. Like, why a puppy bowl? Like, what is going on? A Puppy Battle Royal? What happened? What's the stip for the winner? What does the winner get? What does the winner get for the Puppy Battle Royal? Do they become Pharaoh's new best friend? Is that what happens? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to AEW this week. I loved the Sloppy Shop line from Taz. I thought that was great. I'll be watching Fyter Fest. My husband will be watching Great American Bash. Because my husband watches NXT on one TV and I watch AEW on another. House divided. You know, we need one of those flags. Kind of like, you know, two rival college teams. They get those little flags. So I will definitely be watching AEW. Yes, I watch AEW. I am probably biased towards AEW. So what? I'm a fan. I'm not a reporter. I don't claim to be a reporter. I don't know why people always want to come at me. I can't stand it. But I love NXT too. But I just watch AEW first. And if I feel like it, I'll watch NXT. So, yeah, I guess we'll find out soon about the deep details. Do we know any more? Do we know any more about this? Did AEW tweet about it? Or is this like, if they don't do this Puppy Battle Royal, I'm going to be so mad. I like to watch AEW Live and DRNXT. Yes, that too. Well, isn't NXT available on the network like the next day too? Or is it the next week? I don't know. I'll be watching Terrell says. I'll be watching Fyter Fest as well. Which show is doing the Puppy Battle Royal? It's a post show. Puppy Battle Royal. I think. Puppy. So, cool. We're in agreement. I always watch AEW Live. Support small business. Support AEW, I guess. I don't know, not really that small. I would like to see the audience wear masks. I think that would probably be good. Hi!
Hey! Yeah, I'm just kind of catching up. Terrell, what was the letter Y about? The Y was, throw a Y in the chat if you grew up in the era of watching wrestling when you tune on Monday Night Raw and once a year the Westminster Dog Show would be on instead of wrestling and it ruined your entire week. That was basically what the Y would be. I heard you faintly from the other room defending your allegiance to AEW over WWE.
Yeah. I have to sometimes make that clear.
Samesies, though, you know.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Definitely an AEW.
4 hours ago, they tweeted about it.
About what?
The Puppy Battle Royal.
Oh.
Hold on. What does the winner get? At Tony Khan. Please let me know. I am so excited. Thank you for being awesome.
Troll says, that's like saying you can't like Power Rangers if you like VR Troopers, or you can't be friends if you like Star Trek but not Star Wars. Now, I don't know what VR Troopers are, but I do remember Big Bad Beetleborgs, which were very similar to Power Rangers. So I think that's probably about the same type of thing. I do not watch Star Trek or Star Wars, but I definitely get the comparison. I guess he's talking about AEW versus WWE.
Sci-fi.
Yeah. Not really my realm, but I understand the comparison, and I think you're right, Terrell. I think you're right.
You want to get into predictions?
Sure, we can do that. Let's see what we got here. Do you want to start with Great American Bash or Fyter Fest?
Yeah, let's go with Great American Bash.
Boom. All right. So, why is your screen small here too? Why does it do?
It's fine.
I can fix it.
Oh, there we go. Yes. Hey.
Remember the movie Holes? I can fix it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Digging up ho. Digging up ho. Okay, he looked pretty good, I think. Hey, that's pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right, so we're not gonna. Well, I'm gonna give my prediction for the main event. No spoilers. I'm gonna guess Keith Lee wins the belt. I'm just gonna get that right off the bat. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just think it makes sense. I think Adam Cole is the most valuable person WWE has on their entire roster on any of the brands. I think Adam Cole is fantastic. He checks every box aside from the height and size that WWE normally looks for. Love Adam Cole, but if he doesn't lose to Keith Lee, I feel like he has to lose it to Karrion Kross, but I feel like they're not going to do that match, and they'll probably do Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. That's where my entire mindset is with all of it. But I prefer to see Adam Cole retain, but I'm going to go with Keith Lee. As far as the rest of this show goes, Jesse, first up we got Isaiah Swerve Scott taking on Johnny Gargano. Who do you have and why?
Ooh, I think Johnny Gargano needs to win, but I like Isaiah Swerve Scott. I really do. So I want Isaiah Swerve Scott to win. I don't know what's going on with Johnny Gargano. I don't know what they can do with him. There's not really him and Ciampa both. They're just kind of like there. I'm just going to go with Isaiah. I think Swerve wins. I like Swerve. Swerve is cool. I think he's on the up and up, and he deserves to be on the up and up. So I'm going to go ahead and go with him. I don't know if this will start something with Johnny Gargano. Maybe him and, who's the drunk guy? Robert Stone?
Yeah.
They can, maybe him and Johnny can get together and start something. I don't know. It'd be funny. Since Candace is not doing her own thing. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Just something different. And hopefully this will be the catalyst for that. So Swerve.
Personally, I like to see Swerve win as well. He's a guy who, out on the indies, he was known as Shane Strickland. He was also Killshot in Lucha Underground, for those of you who might not know. He was in a mask during that run. He's a guy who actually I owe quite a lot to, personally. He came on Fight Talk on my personal podcast, like, way early on, and he gave me, like, an hour of his time, like, when he really had no reason to at all. So I've always been a big fan of his, like, as a person and as a wrestler. He's great. So I'd like to see Swerve win. I'm going to predict Johnny Gargano, though, mainly because Johnny hasn't won, like, anything of any significance in quite a while, it feels like. And unless they're just, like, completely giving up on him, which I doubt that they're going to do, and they've invested too much into Gargano, I'm going to say that Johnny wins. But like I said, I personally like to see Swerve win. And this is looking at the rest of the show, aside from the main event, of course, I think it's pretty safe to say this will be the best match of the show, outside of probably the main event. So, and for those of you in the chat, talking about Power Rangers and Beetleborgs and VR Troopers and Human Samurai Cyber Squad and all those things, I appreciate that. I like that you guys in the chat. I'm a fan. This is a signed Green Ranger, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nice.
I'm into this stuff, guys. I'm very into it. I'm one of you, trust me. Next we have Breezango, the team of Tyler Breeze and Fandango, along with Drake Maverick, taking on it's fantastic.
El Legado.
El Legado del Fantasma, I guess how you say it.
Fantasma.
Who is Santos Escobar, who was El Hijo del Fantasma, who's now known as Santos Escobar, who's the Cruiserweight champion currently. along with Joaquin Wild, who used to be known as DJ Zima Ion, aka DJ Z, in TNA and on the Indies. And then you got Raul Mendoza, who's been a part of the Performance Center for like forever. So, 6-man tag match. I'm going to say El Legado del Fantasma gets the win. They have momentum as a squad. Escobar has a title. Maybe Drake Maverick gets a win here, like gets the pin, because I think that Maverick is the next challenger for Escobar's title, so maybe they try to build it that way. But I'm going to go with Escobar's team. Who do you have, Jesse?
I'm going to go Breezango Maverick. The Fashion Mavericks.
Is that what they're calling themselves?
No, I just made that up.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Copyright, I'm going to trademark that, so you have to buy it from me. No. I really... People are starting to see again and appreciate Tyler Breeze and just how incredibly talented he is. When?
Scarlett.
No, not today.
Want to go to their house
Well, we can go to Mimi and Papa's this weekend.
today?
No, this weekend.
Terrell, Dragon Zord over everything. I'm sorry, dude. I don't even know what QX is. It's possible for me to believe anything's better than the Dragon Zord.
For play day?
Maybe. Not right now. Not right now.
Sleepover?
Maybe. We'll see.
Right now?
No, not right now.
My next big purchase, Terrell, just so you know, is I'm gonna get the I had one when I was younger, but I'm gonna buy one of those old retro dragon, like the dagger that like the flute dagger.
I know.
I need one of those for my display.
Anyways, sorry. Tyler Breeze is a fantastic wrestler, and I like that Breeze and Fandango are both finally healthy. I think they should capitalize on that. I think they should push them to the sky. I love them.
Cool, and it should be a good match. I mean, a lot of fun in there. So, up next we have Mia Yim versus Candace Rae in a street fight. You're first on this one, Jesse. Who do you have winning this one and why?
Ooh. I don't know. Is there a way it could just be a draw?
I mean, it could be.
They just both beat the poo-poo out of each other? I mean, this could be good. They could really bring it. Like, both of them. It's either going to be fantastic or it's going to suck. And I don't want it to suck. So I'm going to think it's going to be really good. I'd like Mia Yim to win, but I feel like Candace LeRae is going to win. Just because she's kind of... Mia Yim is pretty established. Especially, like, who she is and her character. But I feel like Candace LeRae, the whole kind of heel thing going on that she did with Johnny, and just she's kind of trying to rebuild herself and pick herself back up. I feel like it would be beneficial for her to win. And I think it could kind of further separate her from her husband, because this is 2020. We don't need that. And, you know, he's on the out, and Candace is doing great on her own. So I'm going to go Candace LeRae, but I would like to see Mia Yim win.
I think that all makes sense. I'm gonna go with Candace. I'm gonna guess that Candace and Johnny both get wins on this show to like to try to like kind of rebuild them, because there's also the possibility. I think they've teased it a little bit also, where like Johnny and Candace versus Mia Yim and Keith Lee, because they're together. Like that, there's like a possible something there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that Candace gets the win here, but I think it should be really good. What's interesting about this is they market Mia Yim like she's a street fighter, like she's like not a player 1, player 2 street fighter, but
Yeah.
like she's from the streets, so like she's always got a chance because she's from the streets, you know. And then it's like
She's street smart.
I mean, it's a street fight, so like maybe that plays to her advantage. I don't know. I remember when she wrestled Shayna Baszler for the title, and I was so angry at the I can't remember who the commentator was. That was like, well, this is a pretty even matchup. We got Mia Yim, who's, fought in the streets her whole life, versus Shayna Baszler, MMA fighter. And I was like, oh, no, please don't compare those things.
Oh, honey, no.
The MMA fighter is going to kill the person who, quote unquote, from the streets. One thing that's really interesting, speaking of Shayna Baszler, is how she just like hasn't been on the show and stuff. And I looked it up the other day because I was like, man, Shayna, because Shayna, I followed her MMA career, and she fought, a long time ago, and she's been in the sport. She was in the sport for a long time and trained alongside Josh Barnett and all these people like a long time ago. And so I looked her up. I was like, I wonder how old Shayna is, because she's 39.
Dang.
Which is like, I don't think anybody realizes that. Like, she probably doesn't have that much time left. Like, just in general, like, you gotta do something.
Wrestling.
I'm sorry, yes, wrestling.
She's 80.
Sorry. Yeah, 40. You hit 40 and it's game over. All
You're done.
right.
Gone. Hate to break to you guys. Over the hill, just steep.
But in
cliff.
wrestling years, that's starting to get up,
Yeah.
especially on the female side,
Right.
So, interesting. Just interesting to think about. I don't think a lot of people realize how. I hate to say it like that, but how old she is. I thought that it was going to be like early 30s, and I was like 39. I did not realize that.
Impressive.
So that's Great American Bash. Once again, no spoilers in the chat, y'all. I'm very much looking forward to this match. I would love if they if AEW counter programmed this with the Puppy Bowl. I think that would be hilarious. If they were just like, all right, we'll put on the Puppy Bowl at the same time as the main event, like just because it's like everyone wants to watch this anyways. So like that way they can't even be like, well, I mean, Keith Lee outdrew, Jericho and Orange Cassidy. You know what I mean? It's like, well, no, they Puppy Bowl. Like who cares?
Yeah.
That'd be
They
freaking funny.
pull the whole. Don't tune in because blah 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 blah.
That'll put asses in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
Tunes over to that show.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Cherry says, "I'm still broke, lol, but hope you guys are having a good show." Appreciate that, Greg. Thanks for starting.
Thank you, Greg.
Feel free to ask any questions. I know you might need some brushing up on your trivia. So if you have any questions for me about wrestling that you don't know, I probably know them, so I can help you out with that. Darbot says, "I think the Puppy Bowl will be the main event because it has to replace Moxley and Cage."
No, it's post.
What's that?
It's after. Right.
That the Puppy Bowl will be after Moxley and Cage?
No, it's after the show.
Oh, is that what's happening? It's like
Yeah, I'm pretty
during
sure.
the show. There's no way.
No.
TNT
stop
just
it.
has its
Completely
own
not.
show. Yeah, come on.
After Fyter Fest this week, for the first time in AEW history, it's the All Elite Wrestling Puppy Battle Royal. It literally says that in the official
It
AEW
says
tweet.
after the show?
Yes.
Wow. So TNT is just putting on a Puppy Bowl.
TNT's invested, honey.
Maybe I'm wrong about all this.
They know their demos.
Greg Cherry says,
They're trying to get that female demo.
Greg, obviously I'm kidding. Obviously I'm kidding.
They know their demo.
we got results for James. We answered that earlier in the show. But just to catch you up, because I know you just joined the chat. I personally like the design, but I can't unsee the balls and dick in the belt. And Jessie has, she's you can that'll get us demonetized. But I think the belt's all right, aside from the giant dick in the middle of it. But aside from that,
I think it's great.
So let's move on to Fyter Fest. And once again, this is another reminder. Anybody, if you want your voice heard, if you want your predictions heard, if you want us to answer any questions, anything like that, super chats get you priority. We'll drop whatever we're talking about and talk about what you want to talk about, or at least get your predictions out there. And there is a donation link in the description below, and it's worth the same as super chats, but they also include some Easter eggs. So there's certain dollar amounts that trigger certain graphics that'll pop up on the screen. So there's a little more you can do with the donations, but they work the same as super chats as far as like whatever's easiest for you, go for it, and it still gets you the same thing. We're still going to deep dive on whatever you want to talk about. And Jessie just put that link up there. And Greg, yes, I did just see the new Wrestle Rumble drawing. I'll talk about that at the end of the show. I have I actually had the graphic for it on our intro screen as well. Wrestle Rumble is coming in with the heat again on their next contest. It is sick what they put together. So yeah, thanks for the shout out on that also, Greg. We always got to support our people over there at Wrestle.
Yeah.
Up first on Fyter Fest, we're going to start off with Kenny Omega, your best friend, and Hangman Page. They are defending their AEW World Tag Team titles against Private Party, the team, of course, of Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, and we have Matt Hardy as their manager. I think I'm first on these. So, man,
I know.
it's getting to that point soon, right? Where, like, how many more of these teams can Hangman and Omega beat before, like, the inevitable, where, like, one turns on the other? Because I feel like that
You teased it.
at some point.
Did you see last week?
Yeah. And their match with Best Friends was good last week, too. It's just they just won definitively, you know? So it's like, who... Like, does it go to Private Party? And does Matt Hardy make the difference? Because he's in the Elite and as a part of Private Party. It's interesting. I'm going to say Omega and Page retain again here. I think that Private Party will for sure be the tag team champions in the future. Like, I have no doubt in my mind. But I'm going to say Page and Omega retain again here. And what I expect to be a very, very entertaining match. Who you got, Jesse?
Oh. This is tough because of last week, the way it ended with the whole beer thing. It's tough. Love Private Party. Do I think they're ready? I don't know. They have Matt Hardy, but he's also a member of the Elite. Is this main event or is this the first match?
I put it as the first match because I think the main event's going to be Jericho and Cassidy, but it might be this tag team match. I think it probably should be this tag team match based on hard, but I think they've really built Jericho and Cassidy as well. You know, so
if it's the main event, I think we have a heel turn by Kenny Omega.
I like it.
If it's not the main event, heel turn by Kenny Omega. I'm going Private Party wins. I don't think the Elite need belts to establish anything. I don't. I think their story is so compelling. You've got being the Elite. I feel like it's the catalyst. I don't know. Maybe they retain and FTR comes after them. That could set it up too. It could make that feud more important. Because where do you go with Private Party? I mean, they've got Matt Hardy. Private Party, Matt Hardy.
Private Hardy.
Private Hardy. Yes. Love it. We're coming up with these names today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I was gonna say either Kenny turns heel and they lose, or Kenny turns heel. No, I'm gonna go. Here's what I'm gonna do. Kenny and Hangman Page retain, and then Kenny turns heel.
That could be interesting also. I think they have to get to a point soon, though, where, like, Darbot says Hardy Party. That's another good one. I feel like when they do the Young Bucks versus FTR, it's going to be for the belts. I feel like it's got to be. Like, you got to make it the biggest tag team match you possibly can. And I think you've got to have those belts on the line. So maybe I could see a scenario where Omega and Hangman maybe lose the belts to FTR soon. And then you have FTR versus the Young Bucks. Because they're clearly going to do FTR versus the Young Bucks. Like, clear as day, that's going to be a money match for them at a big show. And we're going to talk about them here in a second. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Hangman and Omega for now. Yeah. The good thing is it should be a good match. It just should be a really, really good match. And I'm okay with it.
Great.
If Private Party wins the belts, I'm okay with that too.
Yes.
Up next, we have FTR Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, I'm sorry.
Hardwood. You're looking at this belt too much, boy.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. Onlyfans.com/Jessie the Buckeye.
Yeah. See me lick this belt. No.
You could, I'm not going to say that.
Family friendly.
Remember what Paige did to her belt?
Stop it.
Onlyfans.com/Jessie the Buckeye.
Oh my
We
God.
have, the Young Bucks teaming up with FTR. They're taking on the Butcher and the Blade, along with the Lucha Brothers, the return
Ooh,
Pentagon Jr.
God.
and Ray Phoenix.
Yo, this is gonna be so good.
This is a stacked match.
Dude.
You're first on the prediction on this one. Who you got?
I'm gonna take the Lucha Bros and the Butcher and the Blade because FTR and the Young Bucks, they don't get along. There's no way. Easy. I don't know. Heck, maybe they do win and they're like, hey, you know, we like you. You know, FTR is like, hey, respect. And then, you know, Kenny turns heel that way. I'm expecting Kenny to turn heel. But, you know, Kenny's like, hey, I don't drink, straight edge life. They're all celebrating with beers. And he's like, no, ma'am. And he just leaves the Elite. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
it's tough. I mean, the good thing is there's a lot of different scenarios. And all of them are good scenarios, I think. Like, I'm okay with everything we're saying is like, I'd be okay if any of these things happen. Because I like the performers and I believe in the company. So, I'm going to say FTR and the Young Bucks win this one. I think that they're going to continue to kind of work as a team, and it's just it will build, like I said, to a very high-profile match, the Young Bucks versus FTR. Like, I think it'll be interesting too in this match if they're like maybe stealing each other's moves and stuff also a little bit, like maybe kind of maybe try to one up each other and stuff. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So, this match should be completely insane. I think it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great.
Up next, we have Colt Cabana along with the Dark Order. Obviously, Colt Cabana has been kind of aligned with them lately.
Need that little contract.
Yes, he does. And then the Dark Order is going to be the team of Brody Lee and Stu Grayson. They're going to be taking on SCU, the team of Daniels Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. The Dark Order thing is really interesting. Did you watch not the latest Being the Elite, but the one before it? So there was a skit that they did. I thought it was hilarious. But Brody Lee's walking down a hallway. Hangman Page walks up to him and he's like, oh yeah, nice to meet you, man. And like he's like, him and Brody are talking in the hallway, and Hangman's like, yeah, a few months back I went on that website of yours and I filled out the form and just like nobody got back to me. And Brody Lee's like, wait, you tried to join the Dark Order and no one got back to you about it?
Oh no.
And he was like, yeah, man. And he's like, do you still want to join? And he's like, well, no, I'm good now, but like, yeah, I did before. And Brody Lee like walks into his office and he has like this stack of papers that's like this thick. Throws it off of Evil Uno's head and then like he makes him pick it and he's like he like hits him in the head with it and he's like, pick that up, and like the guy like makes it, and then he has it all in his hand again, hits Stu Grayson in the head with it, he's like, pick it up, and he's like, we could have had Hangman. How did nobody reach out to this guy? We could have had shit. We could have had cowboy shit. And it's like there it's funny because
That's funny.
Man for a while.
Yeah, they were.
And now Brody Lee's basically just trying to get everything in order with the Dark Order. I don't know about this one. I think it's gonna be a good match, but I don't know who should win. Like, I personally like to see the Dark Order win. Like, I'm just more interested in what's going on with that than I am with SCU personally. So I'm gonna go with the Dark Order, but I just hope it's a solid match. It should be. Everyone in this is good. So I'll take the Dark Order because I think they need the win, especially Brody Lee. I want to see Brody Lee get a definitive pinfall on somebody in this one, or set it up so like Colt can get the pin again. Like knock someone out and then let Colt get the pin so that he feels like more of a part of the group and wants to like, legitimately join and everything. So I'm gonna go with Dark Order and Colt Cabana. What about you?
I agree. I think Dark Order needs a win. I think you have Brody Lee, who's still kind of hurting from that loss against Jon Moxley, and I think you need to build him back up again. He's still hurting, man. He's a hurting pup. He's got some blemishes that he needs to cover up. Put some cream on him, and a win would be a good cream. Oh dear.
That'd be great.
Great cream. Yeah.
Cover up.
Polish up this belt with some cream.
There you go. Bit of
Yeah.
British.
Yeah, I think Dark Order needs a win, and it seems feasible against SoCal. SCU.
Yeah. Yeah.
No disrespect.
Up next, we have Nyla Rose versus the infamous TBA, to be announced. Who was this supposed to be? Was this supposed to be somebody and they fell off, or is this just a mystery opponent?
Maybe it was supposed to be Chris Stylander. I don't know.
Yeah, either do I. I'm not sure what's going on with this.
Or was it Britt Baker? I don't know. I have no idea. Who do you think it's gonna be?
I don't know. I'd like to see more of Anna Jay, personally.
Yeah, I know you would. What if it's Abaddon?
That could be good. That's probably a really good prediction, actually. I could see that.
I would like.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know. Maybe it'll.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe it'll be Tessa Blanchard. You know.
Could be. That would be interesting.
Be controversial.
Mm-hmm.
But Gal, oh my God,
I love TV.
TBA FTW. Yeah, right. Terrell says I'm calling it right now with Kelly Klein. That's a good option.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really sure who it's gonna be. Gal says Tessa ? Yeah, that's what I mean, part of me wants to think that AEW is just not going to sign Tessa because of kind of her reputation and like the way that they kind of try to keep their locker room. But at the same time, it's like Tessa's dad already works there.
Yeah.
You can't really have more of someone like to vouch for you than that. And I mean, Tessa's young and she may or may not have said the stuff that she's been accused of. I don't know, but it's an
issue.
It's concerning. It's something where if these things did, I have no reason to not believe the people who said stuff about it, but I also have no reason not to like believe Tessa and the people who vouch for her. So I really don't know what to believe when it comes to all that. But what I do know is she's only like 24 years old. So like when I was 24, when I was 21, whatever, a completely different person than I am.
Dude, leaps and bounds.
So like I'm not justifying anything she may or may not have said, but we also can't like cancel her entire career. She's so young. You can't. It's the same kind of thing with Sammy Guevara, where he was actually caught saying stupid shit. Like we know for sure he said stupid shit. And
yeah, that was really dumb. And it was one time. It's not like, I don't know. It's not okay at all, but
and he's getting punished for it, like straight up. Like he's
badly
lost his push, like
which is a good thing. I think I think it needed to happen. I think it was a great kind of precedent for tolerance in AEW, and I thought it was a really good.
I agree. But my point is that like he's like 23, 25. So it's like
he's young.
You can't like if this guy stays healthy and he can be like, a top guy in your company for the next 20 years or whatever, and he never does anything like that ever again and has learned his lesson, you can't just like cancel a guy forever in his early 20s for saying something stupid that he probably heard like a stand-up comedian say who hasn't gotten any scrutiny for saying it, kind of like because what he said was stupid, obviously, but like he was clearly trying to make a really, really cringy joke. He said something that he thought was going to be funny, thought it was going to be controversial, didn't care. It was on a podcast that hardly anyone listened to. And once again, I'm not justifying it, but it's one of these things where like he's getting punished big time for it right now. And when he comes back, I can't hold it against him. I just can't if he serves his time. And now if he does it again, there's serious problems. But we got to give him the benefit of the doubt right now, I feel like.
Yeah.
James Tamburo says, "Where's Nia Jax?" I don't know, and I really couldn't care less. The last thing I remember is her hurting Kairi Sane, and Kairi Sane like just now I think returned. So
I thought she was retiring. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nia. I don't like hate Nia Jax, but it's just one of these things where like I feel like every time I watch her, she hurts someone, and I'm never actually entertained by anything she does. So I just don't get her spot on the show when they have just, in my opinion, much more talented wrestlers that could have those spots. So I don't know. And as far as a prediction, I can't really predict Nyla Rose's match.
Yeah, I can't predict it either. There's no point.
Oh yeah, Gel. This is a very good point that you're making, Gel. Very good point. AEW says they have Mike Tyson on TV, and he actually went to jail for it, not just saying it. The RAPE is what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Now, once again, that was also a long time ago, and once again, I'm not justifying it, but the thing with Mike Tyson, too, is, like, look at Mike Tyson now, in, like, the way that he carries himself, the way that he talks, versus what the time frame we're talking about. It's, like, two completely different human beings. Like, this guy is, like, he did, like, a Scooby-Doo style cartoon comedy a few years ago. Like, this guy, like, doesn't take himself seriously anymore at all. He's, like, a caricature of himself. But I'm with you. I'm with you, though. Like, if they didn't want to work with Mike Tyson because of those reasons, I would not blame them at all. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Terrell says, I don't care. I was about to say the same, Steven. Who cares where Nia is at, always hurting people. That's how I feel, too. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we have Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts taking on Joey Janela. I think, are you first on this one, Jesse? I think you are.
We didn't really do a prediction for Nia. I think. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, go ahead, Jesse. Who do you think, what do you think about this match? Archer and Janela, and who wins?
Lance Archer. No question. I think Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss are a fantastic tag team. I'd like to see them do more together. I think this is a good way to do it. Maybe Sonny Kiss comes out and rescues Joey Janela after this, but Lance Archer needs a win. Lance Archer needs to get back on track. He's cool. He's badass. He has to win this. I feel like it's going to be quick. Love you, Joey. Sorry.
I feel exactly the same. Unquestionably, Lance Archer wins this. Love Joey Janela as well. I personally like to see Janela win the match. I actually like Joey Janela more than Lance Archer. Like, if you're asking me just straight up personally who I like better as a pro wrestler, Joey Janela. I like Lance Archer, though, too. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I really enjoy Joey Janela, and I really like his tag team with Sonny Kiss. I think it's clever and it's different. I want to see more added to that. We talked about that in many weeks. I want to see Marco Stunt added to that group. I want to see somewhat of an oddities type group, and not the same as what we saw in the WWE, but similar idea. This is kind of the outcasts. A bunch of people are kind of outcasts of society, banding together, and helping each other become successful. I think it'd be really cool.
EA Sports is announcing a UFC 4 on July 11th.
Oh, I know.
You do? Okay.
Oh, yes. I have that already right here. I will be for sure when this game drops. For sure.
Okay. I saw that. I just saw that and I was like, oh.
Yes, thank you for the heads up, though. I do appreciate that.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game coming out.
Sorry, I'm like refreshing my email obsessively. You know why.
Oh, yes, I do. So yeah, there's not really a whole lot more we can talk about with Archer and Janela. I think I'm with you. Archer needs the win. I mean, he needs the win. And then the main event, Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. I believe the results of this were leaked.
What?
But I saw something about that. Do not put the results out there if you know them. I do not want any spoilers. You will be banned from the chat for any spoilers. I hate to be like that, but it's just the only way we can ensure that people don't do that.
I'm not even gonna look at the chat right now.
You're not even looking.
But shit, I have to. Wait, no, did you see the spoiler or did you not?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But I saw something about AEW leaking something, and I saw a comment about it might have been this match that they were talking about being leaked.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I've been trying to avoid all of it.
Your turn.
Yeah, so we had Joey Janela. We had Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. I mean, I feel like Jericho has to win this, but I love Orange Cassidy. I love Chris Jericho. Like, I love this match. I love the feud. I just don't see any scenario where Orange Cassidy actually beats Chris Jericho. So I've got to go with Jericho. I don't think it's going to be like a squash. I think Jericho will make Orange Cassidy look really good. And Orange Cassidy, I couldn't. There's no other way of me saying I'm a huge fan of his. I was a big fan of his on the Indies, even when he was in Chikara as Fire Ant and stuff. Like the guy's really, really, really good at wrestling. And then you mix in how just hilarious and unique his character is. I love what Orange Cassidy does, and I think his pairing with Trent and Chuck is great. So I love everything about this match. I think the match itself is gonna be awesome, and I have to go with Chris Jericho. What do you think?
I think Orange Cassidy's gonna win.
Ooh.
I do. I don't know. Is the Inner Circle banned from ringside?
I don't know. It doesn't say anything specific about that on the stipulations here, but this is also just fan-made Wikipedia stuff, so I don't know.
I can see Chris Jericho winning via Inner Circle interference. However, I really would like to see Orange Cassidy win. I think he can do it. There has to be a point to this. I mean, it is Orange Cassidy, so maybe not, but Chris Jericho doesn't need a win. Does he?
Depends on how
He's Chris Jericho.
Depends on how you look at it, because Jericho, it's still Chris Jericho at the end of the day. Like, it's still probably the most well-known person on the whole show, on the whole brand, is probably still Chris. I mean, I'd have to think it has to be. Like, I don't think that the name Jon Moxley is more known in just like
No.
the casual. Kenny Omega definitely not. Worldwide Kenny Omega, but still Jericho is still a much bigger worldwide name than Kenny Omega. They're in Cody. Like Cody's like kind of getting there, but he's still. I feel like if I just talked to 10 random people on the street that I don't know that I've never talked to, and I was like, "Hey, ever heard of Cody Rhodes or Cody?" And they're just like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, "Chris Jericho?" Like, there's a chance they might be like, "Oh, I remember Chris Jericho." You know what I mean? Like.
It's one of those things where when I'm talking about AEW to somebody, I'm like, "Oh yeah, Chris Jericho's in it," and they go, "Oh, okay," one of those.
Exactly. So, I just, I feel like, obviously he's the first ever AEW World Champion, which I thought was the smart thing to do. I think his title reign was very good. I think him dropping the was the right move. Like, I have no problem with any of it. But what they can't get into, I feel like, is making Jericho like a total parody of himself.
True.
Which
That's important.
And they've kind of went that direction to an.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to explain, but it's like he's self-aware.
You keep going. I have to use the restroom. I can
go.
hear you though.
Sure, go for it. It's almost like Jericho's like self-aware that he's kind of parodying himself with a lot of the way that he does stuff, and like with like the Brady Bunch style videos they did with the Inner Circle and all that stuff, and so I like all that stuff. I think it's entertaining, but at the same time, I feel like Chris Jericho should still be used and viewed as a top level guy who's always a threat to the AEW World Title. So yeah, I gotta say Jericho for sure here. But like I said, absolutely love Orange Cassidy. Love him. Let me see what people are saying in the chat while Jesse's gone. We've got Darbot said, allegedly Sammy's suspension, assuming his class goes well, will be about 4 weeks. He also says that Sammy shouldn't have been, Terrell mentioned that Sammy shouldn't have been suspended. What he said was back in 2016. He didn't deny it. He apologized for it, all that stuff. Suspension hurts his growth. I mean, I agree with you to an extent, but I think it is smart for them to suspend him because then at least there's that, right? Like, you can't say that, like, the company's just turning a blind eye to it. You can't say that anybody's, like, okay with the things that he said. And I think most of us are in the same boat with this. I think most of us, we're, we all recognize there's a gigantic difference between saying those things as a clear joke and actually acting on those kind of things. There's a very, very big difference. But when it's that public and the entire wrestling world hears about it and he's linked to your company and getting a big push in your company, I feel like it was a smart thing to do for AEW to, because that's the thing. Because it, just hypothetically speaking, if it were to happen again, right, and like they didn't do anything about it the first time, then it happens again, then you have a really, really big nightmare. You have a PR nightmare. You have the wrestling fans wanting to cancel the whole company nightmare, probably. Like it's a, because they turned a blind eye to it and didn't do anything about it. I think this is smart for everybody involved. I don't think Sammy's a bad person. I really don't. I do applaud the way that he handled it. He apologized directly to Sasha about it. Sasha even said that he apologized. He apologized publicly. He's going to like sensitivity classes. He's pulled off TV. What more can you really? I mean, aside of firing the guy, what more can you really do? And I don't think he deserves to be fired over it. Like I mentioned before, 4 years ago, I was a completely different person than who I am now, and that change is even more drastic when you're his age. When you're going from like, I mean, think about when, I don't know how old people in the chat are, but think about being 18 years old and like in college. And, like, I'll say it for myself. I did so much stupid stuff and said so much stupid stuff back when I was 18 years old. By the time I turned 22, 23, like, now I'm out in the real world, and like my mindset has changed about everything again, because it's like you're working and you're meeting people and you have to be an adult and like provide for yourself. And then from like 24 to 30 or whatever, I changed big time again, because your priorities start changing. You decide what jobs you don't want to do, what jobs you want to do, what you really want to do with your life. When I turned 30, 31, I'm 32 now, it's a constant change. And there are things that I said and did even a handful of years ago that I completely cringe at now. But that change was so significant from the time I was 18 to 25. Like, such a massive mindset change about everything. And this is the age we're talking about with Sammy, is like in that age. So like, I think everybody in the chat, I think all of us, we're all good people here, and we all want what's best, and we want justice and these kind of things. I think we're all kind of on the same page when it really comes to this at the end of the day. And once again, if he does it again, the company is they have all their ducks in a row if it happens again. Because they can go, look, we sent him to this, we suspended him, he apologized, we did everything we possibly could short of firing the guy. So if it happens again, he's fired, and they got all their ducks in a row. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just feel like I just feel like there's really nothing more anybody could have done from any side, and it just is what it is right now. And I think he will recover, and I think he's going to be a future AEW World Champion one day. So.
Yeah, I heard what you were saying about, obviously without other stuff. Yeah, Sammy, I hope he learns and whatever. I feel like he will. I feel like it was just a weird, stupid comment, and he's going to learn better, and I hope that he gets the tools to not make those mistakes again. However, the Chris Jericho stuff, I do agree with you. I do think that Chris Jericho is kind of seen as like a funny guy right now, kind of becoming a joke. He's embracing the meme a little too much. And you're right, a win here would kind of cement and establish the fact that he is funny and he's awesome and he's cool, but he's also still a badass and he can still kick your ass. So I do agree with you, and that makes me kind of almost change my mind a little bit. While I do love Orange Cassidy, I do think Chris Jericho does need a win. I feel like Chris Jericho's a draw. I feel like Chris Jericho gets the views. I feel like he is a well-known guy. And if you kind of just make a joke out of him, you're going to lose viewers, I guess. And I love Orange Cassidy. It'd be great to see Chris Jericho put him over. But I don't know if it's the time for that. So.
And the good thing about Orange Cassidy is, like, he's going to be okay either way. Because, like, even if he loses, but it's still competitive. Because this could add layers to him as well. It's like, because Jericho is like literally beating him to a bloody pulp,
Yeah.
All puns intended, 100% there. Like,
I get it.
with those blood oranges. So
Yeah.
especially if Jericho does this in this match. Like, imagine Jericho, like, he's got Orange Cassidy. This is the kind of match where I'm okay with some blood. Like, if Orange Cassidy's, like, bleeding and he's, like, barely surviving throughout this thing, but he makes it really close. Like, it gets to the point a few times where you think Cassidy's going to actually win. And the way that Jericho works in his psychology and stuff, I fully expect that to happen. I fully expect it to be like, oh, there's no way Cassidy can possibly come back from this. And then it gets to the point where we're like, oh my god, he's going to actually beat Chris Jericho. And then Jericho hits him with the Judas. And it's like, but Cassidy shows that because he showed it against Pac as well. Like,
Yes.
he can have these serious matches and still keep, like, the integrity of his, like, chill, laid-back character. And I think this will just add more to his credibility. I think Orange Cassidy could be the AEW World Champion one day. He really could.
At least TNT.
Yeah. I mean, he carried the Independent Wrestling.tv title for a long time. He had 2 reigns with it. And he mainly did comedy wrestling with the belt. But there were certain matches. The one that really sticks out in my mind is a guy that's been completely canceled by wrestling for good reason. But he had a match against David Starr, which was, like, really, really, really good for that title. And it was one of the first times I saw Orange Cassidy when I was, like, in that light where I was like, oh, this was like a bloody brawl. And Orange Cassidy's still, like, I like him even more after seeing that. So it's like, there's a lot they can do with him. So yeah, that's Fyter Fest. Let's see if we got anything else to talk about in the chat real quick.
If you have any super chats, or if you want to, I'll tweet. I'll send out the link in Messenger again if you'd like to donate with some fun little pop-ups while we're spewing our stuff. It'd be great. Much appreciated, and we'll get to it.
Yes, 100%. I'm actually pulling up our sponsors right now.
Perfect.
So if anybody, like Jessie was saying, any last-minute super chats or donations, we will dive deep on those right after I talk about the sponsors, which I almost...
Thank you, Gail, and thank you, Dylan, for your super chat donations. Those are super much appreciated.
Yes.
Really appreciated it. Had a lot of fun talking about everything. So thank you so much for those. We appreciate everyone in the chat being super cool. Thank you to everybody for being awesome. Yeah.
Yes. I echo those sentiments 100%. Super chats are what keeps the show going, just to be
Just to
totally
be
honest
clear.
as well. Not that we have to get, like, a whole bunch of super chats every episode. It's nothing like that, but it's one of these things where I didn't even realize it until the other day how long we've actually been doing this, like how many episodes of this we've actually done. And if we weren't getting that support at first, we probably wouldn't even be at this point right now.
No.
Because we probably felt like nobody even cared and why
Yeah.
we're doing this. So just know that any money that you do send to us is, like, it's incredibly appreciated.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yes. Especially with, like, both of our situations currently
Yeah.
aren't really talking much about. It's
In due time.
whatever.
In due time. In due time.
So as far as our sponsors go, first up we have WrestleRumble.com. This is the contest I was talking about, or that Greg Cherry brought up in the chat earlier. This thing is sick. So the entries are $1. This is at WrestleRumble.com. These are the prizes. $1 entries, okay? First place winner. They're going to pick 3 people in, like, a random name generator. Someone is going to get the old, so we got the old, what will become the old US title right here, WWE. This is the old WCW US title, and this is the IWGP US Championship. Someone's going to win all 3 of those for $1. All 3 of them.
Amazing.
Second place, which is going to, I'm assuming, be the second name that pops up, you're going to win the classic WWF World title and Winged Eagle title. So you get 2 heavyweight title belts. Somebody's going to win both those for $1. Third place,
Awesome.
Smoke and Skull belt, which I actually might want more than all of these. I love that title belt. So you got the Steve Austin Smoking Skull belt, once again, for $1. Jump on WrestleRumble.com right now. Throw some money on some entries. Show them some love. Follow them on social media at HL Pro. Sorry, that's the wrong company. At WrestleRumble.com. At WrestleRumble. The drawing is going to be on July 19th, and that's going to be right after Extreme Rules. So hit them up. Find them on social media once again at Wrestle Rumble, and let them know that you heard about Wrestle Rumble through me and Jessie. Like, it always helps to let our sponsors know that that you're hearing about them through us. So that's just so sick. What an awesome. That's 5.
I know.
That's 6 belts, and like, to be honest, I mean, the chances are incredibly slim. But like, if you put in $3, for instance, there's a chance you win all of this.
Dude, oh my god.
Each entry is its own. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's its own separate thing. Yeah.
oof. I'm definitely gonna throw some money in on that, and I might have some free entries to give away next week potentially. I'll let y'all know in the chat. I might have some free entries. They usually are pretty good about hooking us up with that kind of stuff. There's my. I hate how every time I open Facebook, my direct messages pop up on here. That's scary.
Oh.
Nothing really to hide, but it's just one of those things. Just like, okay, why is this popping up? Up next we have Heroes and Legends. They're a professional wrestling memorabilia company. They have action figures, DVDs, magazines, anything you can think of. Action figures, everything. They're nice people. They'll do fair business with you, and you can find them on all social media at HL Pro Wrestling. On Facebook, they do pretty regular, not auctions, but they're like claim auctions where they'll put something on the screen, and the first person to claim the item gets invoiced the next day with the total of what they're buying and everything. So I get a lot of my figures through Heroes and Legends, and especially depending on what you collect. Like, I collect the WWF Just Toys Bendums. I'm like less than 10 away from the entire collection of them, which has got to be like 50 or 60 of these, and I have a lot of them. But they give me really good deals on them, way better than what I see on eBay and on Amazon and stuff like that. So depending on what you're collecting, you could probably get some really good deals. And once again, let them know at HL Pro Wrestling. Like, let them know you're hearing about us through hearing about them through me and Jessie, because I promise you they'll give you a good deal. And lastly, we have my brother Brian Jensen.
Yeah.
Follow on Instagram at BoxingATL. He is a co-owner of Steel Boxing and Athletics, a gym out of Atlanta, Georgia. He works with nonprofit Parkinson's foundations, and he corners professional boxers. He corners amateur boxers. He can help you get in better shape, lose weight, learn how to throw hands, just your everyday self-defense stuff. Or if you intend on competing at any level, he can help you with that too. I currently don't have an Instagram, so I can't actually open these. But you can see by example, like, this is him in his gym, people doing pad work. He'll meet you outside, like these videos show. He'll meet you outside if you don't want to go into the gym for like pandemic reasons, or you just like to be outdoors when you do this stuff. He'll meet you outside. He can do stuff over Zoom with you. So even if you're not in the Atlanta, Georgia area or anywhere close, he can help you anywhere in the world online. So hit him up. Once again, his name is Brian Jensen. His handle on Instagram is @BoxingATL. Get a knockout workout without getting knocked out. Hit up Brian Jensen right now. And for me, just follow me on Twitter at FightTalk_, FIGHTTALK_. And Jessie, what you got?
You can follow me on Twitter too at Jessie the Buckeye, JSSITHEBUCKEYE. That's my main social media that's public, other than the YouTube channel. If you aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please make sure you're subscribed. If you like what you see and you really enjoy what we're doing, please give us a subscription. We'd really, really appreciate it. It's the best way to notify you when we go live. We don't really make the whole thing until probably an hour before, sometimes the day of. So you'll always get a notification on there when we go live. You'll see it. It'll be there. It'll be right here. You can join the amazing chat. If you do like it, please subscribe. It really does help us out. And if you do like what you've seen today, please do give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us with the algorithm, gets us recommended more, gets us more viewership, and therefore more people to be in the chat. And it's really fun, and we love it, and we appreciate it so much. And I also do have an OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Jessie the Buckeye. same as my Twitter handle. That's where you can find stuff that I'm not going to put on Twitter. That's where you can get into contact with me. I don't read DMs on Twitter. Don't like to. Don't really go into that folder. So if you want to talk with me, hit me up on OnlyFans. That's where you'll get me. You'll always reach me on OnlyFans. Always trying my best to post new fun stuff up there, really fun stuff, sending out photos and everything like that. So that's the best way to directly support me and my family and keep a roof over our heads, and obviously here too. So yeah, that's all I have. Appreciate it. And like I said, like, subscribe, follow Steven, follow me, and that's about it. And I hope to enjoy tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So I hope everybody has a great next few days. Hope everybody enjoys AEW as well as NXT. I don't know when we'll be on here next. That's why
I just saw with the
why it's so important to subscribe, so that you'll be notified. Once again, if you're following us on social media, we always try to get the links out as fast as possible once we know the show is like for sure happening and all that good stuff. I appreciate everybody in the chat today. I'd imagine we'll probably be back on like Thursday or like sometime over the weekend is probably my guess, to talk about the fallout of these shows and preview some upcoming shows and maybe just kick it and just talk about whatever. And one last shout out to American hero, American legend.
For America.
For America. The man who gave us all something to be proud about over the weekend. And of course, America's Independence Day, pretty big deal. But Joey Chestnut just taking it all to another level, and that the mustard belt for I think it was the 13th year now. Just somebody who he just makes me proud to be American. So I'll leave it at that.
Damn straight.
I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one.